What type of training do you think created this physique? Was it resistance training, heat, Pilates, cardio, Hyrox? Let's look at this question scientifically. When we talk about meaningful body transformation, changing proportions, size and muscle shape, there is only one method that consistently works. And that method is resistance training. Cardio alone won't do it. Pilates won't do it. Yoga won't do it. Even competitive hybrid sports won't do it on their own. Because real transformation requires building muscle in specific areas and sometimes reducing body fat. And even if you say you simply want to tone, what you actually want is hypertrophy. Muscles become toned only when they grow. Physiologically, hypertrophy requires three things: mechanical tension, progressive overload, and high fiber recruitment close to failure. These are the conditions that trigger mTOR pathway and satellite cell activation, the cellular machinery that grows your muscles. And only resistance training provides these conditions reliably. To understand why Pilates and yoga do not significantly reshape the body, look at their origins. Pilates was originally developed to address back pain and spinal mobility. Its emphasis became breath, cervical alignment, core stability, and pelvic mobility. Yoga has always emphasized spirituality, presence and balance. These practices are beautiful, but they do not generate enough mechanical tension to stimulate muscle growth. They do not take you close to failure. They do not provide progressive overload. That is why most Pilates and yoga instructors have slim, flexible bodies, not sculpted or muscular ones. Those who are defined always combine their practice with resistance training. Cardio creates a completely different adaptation. It improves endurance, increases mitochondrial density, and strengthens your heart. But it doesn't build muscle. Endurance work actually down-regulates hypertrophy signaling. Your body becomes efficient, but it doesn't necessarily become shapelier. Yes, sprinters look powerful, but that physique comes from heavy resistance training, not from sprinting alone. Running will not give you defined shoulders or sculpted back. Watch any marathon footage or long-distance running channel. Bodies are usually slim, functional, but often unbalanced. Strong legs, minimal upper body development. If you only run or bike, expect to look like an endurance athlete. The sprinter's physique is built in the gym. CrossFit blends Olympic lifting, gymnastics basics, kettlebells and conditioning. Hyrox mixes running with functional tasks. These sports are demanding. They require power, speed, stability, coordination, and a strong cardiovascular system. But their primary goal is performance, not aesthetics. These are competitive sports. Athletes in these sports need to move fast, react quickly, and withstand fatigue. Their bodies reflect the demands of their discipline. Durable, resilient, powerful, often fueled in a calorie surplus. Because high performance require high energy availability. And competitive settings increase the risk of overtraining or technique breakdown. Not because the sports are dangerous, but because intensity encourages overreaching. I'm not discouraging you from these sports. They are amazing. But if your main goal is body transformation, these modalities alone won't provide the precision needed. Calisthenics is often presented as body weight only.
It's calisthenics, and calisthenics is completely different to weight training.
But in truth, it's simply another form of resistance training. Elegant, technically demanding, and ancient. Did you know that calisthenics was practiced in ancient China and in ancient Greece, including the army of Alexander the Great and the Spartans? It develops body control and strength through leverage rather than external load. But calisthenics alone can be a slower path to body transformation because the progressions are technical and most skills require long timelines, months or years. And almost all advanced calisthenics athletes with impressive physiques build their foundational muscle mass in the gym through classic bodybuilding. If your goal is primarily aesthetic, you need structured resistance training. You can absolutely add calisthenics elements, but it can't replace progressive loading. So why two people can follow the same plan and look completely different? This is one of the most misunderstood aspects of fitness. Two people can train the same way, eat the same way, and develop entirely different physiques. Three genetic factors explain this: muscle attachment, muscle responsiveness, and predominant muscle fiber type. As far as muscle attachment, muscle bellies can be long or short. Short muscle bellies look round, full and defined early. Long muscle bellies look flatter and grow slower in visible volume. This is why some people's delts or glutes pop, while others grow more gradually. Muscle responsiveness. Some bodies gain muscle easily. Some require more intensity, more nutrition, more time. This depends on neuromuscular efficiency, satellite cell density, and hormone receptor sensitivity. And what about predominant muscle fiber type? Type 1 fibers excel at endurance. Type 2 excel at strength and power. Type 2A sits somewhere in the middle. But fiber type doesn't trap you. Research shows muscle grow equally well with heavy weight or lighter weight if you train close to failure. So choose the rep range which feels sustainable and keeps you injury-free. So how to analyze your own body and set intelligent goals? Every body area consists of multiple muscles, not just one. This means you can absolutely reshape any region by strategically building the right muscles and sometimes playing around total body fat percentage. But first, you must look at your proportions honestly. Here are typical female concerns. The stereotypes Pear, apple, hourglass often create confusion. For pear shape, the common mistake is often avoiding lower body work. But true balance comes from growing the upper body, shoulders, back, arms, while training the lower body less frequently but still consistently. Sometimes slight fat loss helps, but most of the transformation comes from the upper body hypertrophy. For apple shape, endless abs exercises won't define the waist. The solution is building structure around it. Strong shoulders, strong glutes, and balanced legs. As muscle definition grows, the waistline appears naturally smaller. Hourglass-shaped ladies often choose Pilates hoping to tone, but without resistance training, there is no stimulus for definition. Hourglass bodies respond exceptionally well to strengthening work. It enhances what they naturally have. They simply need classic resistance work to look more sculpted. Let's look at typical men's concern. The classic gym mistake: training the strong areas more and ignoring the weak ones. The classic big chest and tiny legs imbalance. To develop an aesthetic physique, you must train for symmetry, not ego. I believe that training should correct imbalances, not exaggerate them. That is why a critical perspective is so important. Let's talk about methods to transform your body effectively. Long muscle bellies grow more slowly in visible volume, but they do grow. Consistency is the key. Document your progress through photos and measurements and compare only to yourself. Growth requires adequate protein, sufficient calories, progressive overload, and training close to failure. If your progress is slow, ask yourself, am I truly training near failure? Am I recovering enough? Is my nutrition supporting my training? When needed, you can also add intensification techniques like superset or drop sets. Choose rep ranges that feel natural and keep you consistent. Both heavy low rep and light high rep work as long as your sets end with 1 or 2 reps of failure. Your ideal rep range is the one that you tolerate well, that doesn't injure you, and that allows you to train near failure. If your goal is real body transformation, reshaping proportions, building visible muscle, enhancing your silhouette, the foundation will always be resistance training. Use other modalities for their strength. Pilates for control, yoga for presence, cardio for heart health, CrossFit and Hyrox for performance, calisthenics for skills. But for changing the way your body looks, choose resistance training. Analyze your proportions, train close to failure, progress the load. That is how you transform your physique intelligently.